gangster movies, man. And he said, I'd rather be feared, man. All right, that's pretty much what it is. You gotta raise your daughter up so she fears you. In other words, she reverence you and respects you. Therefore, she's not gonna go off and do anything. If back in the day, man, if your daughter got impregnated by a man and he wasn't around to take care of her, and she rose a bastard son, that was a shameful thing to your family, man. You know. It says this: Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful towards them. Marry thy daughter, so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding, man. So when you marry your daughter, which Lot, his daughters weren't married, so they were under his household, right? Therefore, they were delivered, man. It says, going back to verse 7, 2 Peter chapter 2 and 7, and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds, man. And you see him, they're putting it on Sesame Street, cartoons. They're saying Superman's bisexual now, you know? This thing is getting out of hand, man. So that's why I read the event of the historic events of Sodom and Gomorrah, man, which today lies in fire and brimstone, man. Most High burn them up, man. Burn them up, and that's gonna be the final judgment, all right, of America, Babylon the Great. You know. Esau, Edom. This book of Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says, Thus saith the Lord, behold, I'll raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, man. So you got China, you got Russia, you got Iran, and you hear Russia and China are wanting to, get those sanctions off of North Korea. This is about global. I'll go to Reuters. Let's go to Reuters. What are they trying to do here? We have no gigs. It says China and Russia are pushing the United Nations Security Council to ease sanctions on North Korea by reviving a 2019 attempt to remove a ban. Slakia. Here it is. It says, United Nations, November 1st, China and Russia are pushing the United Nations Security Council to ease sanctions on North Korea by reviving a 2019 attempt to remove a ban on Pyongyang exports of statues, seafood, and textiles, and expanding it to include lifting a refined petroleum import cap. In a reworked draft solution seen by Reuters on Monday, China and Russia want the 15-member council to remove those sanctions. It's like it's still buffering. North Korea has been subjected to UN sanctions since 2006 over its nuclear and ballistic missile program. So we're talking about war right here, man. All right, mighty men. All right, these nations these nations are building up. The Mosai is setting this up, man. As Esau's coming down with the closer, all right, with the closing chokehold, all right, these nations are getting ready for World War III, man. as prophesied in Holy Scriptures. All right, like Einstein. I believe Einstein said, man, he knows. World War IV. If there is ever another war, it's gonna be fought with sticks and stones, man. You're gonna go back into, time of primitive men, man. No guns, But ultimately, you're going back into a new kingdom, man. All right, where Jacob is going to be on the top. Going back to Jeremiah 51:2, and I will send upon Babylon. What was your father? Where was your father from? Was your father Native American?
My mother is.
Your mother? Well, your mother's an Israelite.
Well, I'm treaty.
Your mother's an Israelite. What was your father?
My dad, Irish.
Irish?
Redheaded.
You should hope he could have been from the tribe of Judah.
He's a redhead.
Yeah, a lot of the Irish go back to the black. They call the Irish the niggas of Europe. They call the Irish the niggas of Europe.
Well, they made them do that. That's the queen. She's a...
No. It goes further back than that. It goes back to history.
All about that. They got court.
They go back to the black.
Three of my kids are black. One is white with white hair. It's crazy. My crazy cheeks. My queen heart.
Let's go back to Jeremiah 51. And 2 it says, I will send upon Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And the Most High is going to stir up these nations to come against America, man. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles of the other nations. Right? For example, China, all right, North Korea, Japan, Taiwan, all right, South Korea. I'm naming Asian nations, even the Germans, all right, America, Babylon the Great. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Now you got Iran. I believe what they're doing right now is they're refining uranium. I believe uranium is the new. They used to deal with plutonium. It says, Iran says stockpile of 60% of enriched uranium reaches 25 kilograms. All right? Is that, man, let's go into that, man. So there you go, man. They're most sides building up the hearts of these kings, man. The mind of these kings for war, man. Remember the scripture said in the book of, I believe, Proverbs 21. Scripture said the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, man. He directs him wheresoever he wants. It says, Iran says stockpile of 60% of enriched uranium reaches 25 kilograms. All right, 25 kilos. That's about what, about 50 pounds or so. I know 45 pounds is 100 pounds, so 51, right? 45 kilos. So say maybe a little bit less. November 5th, Iran has increased its stockpile of 60% enriched uranium to 25 kilograms, 55 pounds, like here. State media reports on Friday potentially adding to a complication, dubbing efforts to revive Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers. Negotiations are due to resume in November 29th in Vienna, but Western powers have said Iranian accelerating enrichment of uranium closer to weapons grade, breaches limits set by the pact after Washington under then Donald Trump, president, withdrew from the pact in 2018, is dimming chances of salvaging it, man. But at the end of the day, man, the Most High, let's read that in the book of Joel, man. It says this, Joel chapter 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Iran is preparing for war. Alright? Wake up the mighty man. Iran is becoming a mighty man. Once they got that nuke, boom. Alright, mighty man. Just like when America, which is recorded in the book of Revelation. I want to say Revelation 11? Is that 11? Alright? He causes fire to come down from heaven inside the beast. Is that right? It's like, all these, Revelation in my scripts is beat up. And he does great wonders, like it, Come on, let me get in my. Who said fire and fury? Is that Trump? I believe Trump said fire and fury, which represents what? The dropping of missiles. Revelation 13 and 13 is like it says, verse 13. And he does great wonders. Let me go into verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Man, that goes into the Roman Empire, man. Because America is pretty much a revising of the Roman Empire. All right, the Renaissance. Once the Americans, or I'll say Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called Caucasian, came into power in the time of the Renaissance. That's when they began to expand the economic and the influence, man. The global economic influence and increasing the riches of the other nations, man. All right. And since then, now you have America, you have Britain, you got all these so-called Caucasian nations that are pretty much the powerhouses when it comes to militarized power, man, influence. All right, now you got other nations who are competing and adverse to their attempts, man, like China and Russia. It says this, verse 13, and he doth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And that goes back into the bombs, atom bomb, man. All right, the fat man and little boy, I believe they used plutonium at that time. All right, and plutonium is not as lethal as uranium. I believe it's lighter, but the reason why they're using uranium now is because it's more effective. I believe it's more. I don't know why they. You know what? Shoot, let me find out, man. Let's find out why they're using uranium. Come on. My phone is It says, uranium is more dangerous than plutonium. It says, on the periodic table, plutonium is 2 spots above uranium. Uranium has an atomic number of 92. That is, it has 92 protons, and plutonium has 94. To make plutonium, we somehow have to add 2 protons to a uranium atom.